daughter was in school, in boarding school in high school, in Aboke, Uganda, and the armed rebels of the area came in and abducted over 150 students early one morning. And Angelina and many parents got together first to pray for discernment of how do we go about getting our children back. And one day when they were praying, they prayed on Fridays, they were saying the Lord's Prayer, and they got to the point in the Lord's Prayer where they said, forgive us our trespasses. And they were supposed to say, as we forgive those who trespass against us, but they couldn't say those words. They were incapable in that moment of forgiving those who had abducted their children.
Each other, really, because justice is all about, getting what is fair and right and punishment-wise, or,
what you
fixing.
deem ethically correct.
And then when it comes to mercy, sometimes you have to take what you would consider ethically correct and lax it. Because sometimes being so harsh isn't going to fix the situation at all. And with reconciliation, you not only forgive that person, but you also put
Grace.
it away.
Grace.
Grace. That's a good one.
Grace would be my synonym
For reconciliation.
Together we will see what we will find. It's only me alone at this time. And I'm afraid of what I will discover inside.
Angelina's story goes on that after time, she came to the conclusion that she needed to be reconciled with the rebel leader. And so, since she couldn't get to him at that moment, she went to his mother and reconciled with her, sat with her, and they talked, and they, I believe now, still speak. I know the last time I was with Angelina, she was still speaking with the rebel's mother. It was a couple years ago, but I don't know why that would have changed unless she's ill.
I think with justice, you're always trying to get the right answer, but sometimes you don't always get it. Like, you think you do what's right. It's basically like what's fair. And it contradicts with peace, because with peace, you kind of want everything to be right. Like, you want everything to be equal, which it's not always going to be.
And with justice, it can bring conflict and chaos instead of actually bringing peace. Like, it didn't matter what they did, or they were a prostitute or a beggar or blind or anything like that. He included them and brought them to God and be closer to other people that wouldn't normally associate with him.
It was like, no matter where you'd been or what you had done, he didn't care. It's just like, he accepted you for who you are.
And not only did Angelina forgive the rebel leader's mother, but was telling everyone, I forgive him for what he has done to us. And she didn't just quietly say it around, but she was shouting it, and the other parents and her formed an organization to help advocate for the safe return of these child soldiers. So that group grew large enough and loud enough that the rebel leader told her, if you will be quiet, if you will stop what you are doing, I will give you your child back. And she said, no. I don't want just my child, I want all of them. They're all my children. And left her daughter in captivity. And I think she could only do that not because she was seeking something out of pride or because she was seeking something out of like trying to drive a bargain, but because of her reconciliation with God, her reconciliation with that mother, and then also her forgiveness of the rebel leader. She was able to have a more full grasp and knowledge of what it is to have God's love and say, these are all of my children. Even the rebel leader himself is my child. So something I didn't say in the sermon, but that is a part of the story, is that she advocates for safe return, even of the rebel leaders. She doesn't want them rounded up and executed. She doesn't want them necessarily sent directly to prison, but she says, I want him to come home so he can see. And when he sees, he will cry. So her inner work and her work through the Holy Spirit with God has really healed her in a way that she's able to push past the sort of normal boundaries of what does it mean to forgive, what does it mean to reconcile, to even leave your own child in captivity for the sake of all the others. It's pretty profound.
Yeah.
It showed me that I shouldn't just give up on trying to create a stronger relationship with God, that I should keep striving and try to learn more each and every day.
So do you.
Mr. Hudson, this may need your attention. Important progress.